to a town that's been known to raise up a heavy hitter or two. We're in the welcome all to a town that's been known to raise up a heavy hitter or two. We're in the part of the Commonwealth where the bluegrass shades purple. It's Louisville, Kentucky that holds host. This one on a soaked Saturday in the South. Familiar foes in this match, it's Memphis 901 FC and Louisville City. Howdy, folks. I'm Peyton Gallagher, joined by Ross Davenport, and here's how it shook out the last time these two tussled. It was in the playoffs, in the first round, and Louisville City on the road able to equalize in the latter stages, pushing it all the way to penalties after extra time. They would put the pressure on their opponent, squarely on the shoulders of Aiden McFadden, who for Memphis on this occasion would ring the post and deliver Louisville to the victory as it finished 5-4 in the shootout. As we take a look, Ross, at these Eastern Conference standings right now, Louisville really just chasing glory, trying to set those record marks, and a team that's been as dominant as anyone in the league all year long.
Yeah, and those two key games in hand are key, especially with the one coming Wednesday night against the terrible Miami side. So yeah, Charleston have got a ton of work to do, especially if they'll be able to pick up 6 points here this week.
Aiden McFadden is a player to keep an eye on, brought to you by Commonwealth Credit Union. And Ross, this is a player on the flanks that's offered so much quality this year for Danny Cruz.
Yeah, after Lou City's somewhat disappointing campaign in 2023, he was brought in here in the offseason. Danny Cruz, many moves this last winter. Spent the first few months on loan, now a permanent signing. A competitive guy as anything, high character individual, said Danny Cruz, and returning tonight after missing last game with a concussion.
For the opposition for Louisville today, Memphis 901 FC, the stakes are pretty clear in that. Really tight pack in the middle of the Western Conference, trying to fight it out in their first year in that side of the league, Memphis, and get that all-important home playoff game. Every point matters, but these ones might be crucial.
Yeah, only 2 points behind Colorado for that second spot. Listen, New Mexico running away with the top spot, but also only 7 points away from 7th or 8th, which you don't want to be going on the road to Colorado in October or November.
If Memphis are to achieve lofty goals this year, it might be helped out by this man, especially in this match. Marlon in excellent form coming into this game, having scored a brace the last time out against NCFC.
Yeah, that ended a long scoring drought. He came back to the lineup after that red card suspension. First year with Memphis, had that red-hot 5-game spell back in the spring, 5 goals and 5 assists. Coach Stephen Glass will be hoping certainly that brace could perhaps spark another streak.
He will have to fight his way through a resolute back line as we cast our attention toward this one. There are Beale Street Bandits in town with heightful hopes against one of the best in the league in Louisville City. Folks, don't go anywhere.
Been said you shouldn't mess with a good thing, but when you get behind the wheel of the 2024 Toyota Tacoma, you'll know why we did. We took the best-selling truck in its class the past 19 years and made it better with trail-dominating power, legendary capability, and high-end performance. This Tacoma is built for fun, inside and out. Now it's your turn. Get 5.99 APR financing on a new 24 Tacoma, or lease one now for $319 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
You ready to lose?
Oh, you wish. Let's go.
It's time to power up your old checking account. That's why Commonwealth Credit Union created Power Checking. This incredible all-in-one account powers your spending, and with built-in high-yield savings, grows your balance at the same time. No minimums, no limits, just unparalleled benefits.
Best 2 out of 3.
Let's go.
Get to the next level with Power Checking, only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Hey, now that I have you on here, let me have the rest of the WDRB Mornings team.
Good. Everyone is here. We have a big announcement.
WDRB's own Lindsay Allen joins our morning team starting this week.
I am so happy to be part of the team to bring you all local news all morning long.
Ending breast cancer isn't a journey we take alone. It takes a community working together to make a real difference. Local events through Susan G. Komen demonstrate the strength of our community. Together, we help fund groundbreaking research, provide vital care, and support patients every step of the way.
Join WDRB on October 12th at the More Than Pink Walk at Louisville Slugger Field. Register at WDRB.com and click on Komen Cancer Walk in the Community tab.
Eagles, Bucks, or Patriots, Niners. It all kicks off Sunday on Fox, home of Super Bowl 59.
An interconference clash on tap tonight. It's the High Palisades of Lynn Family Stadium, Louisville City, and Memphis 901 FC. And here is how Danny Cruz has set up his team, Ross. It's that 3-4-3 again.
Yeah, 3 changes from that 2-1 loss at Detroit last Sunday. Out in comes Serrano. McFadden recovered from that concussion. Adrian Perez, only his second start since early June. Out got Goodrum, obviously, with the red card suspension. Wilson, Jansen, as well as Jansen-Wilson, and Manny Perez.
And for Stephen Glass and company, this 4-2-3-1 has been the elective shape for a side that scored a bunch of goals in the West.
Yeah, no changes for Stephen Glass from that 3-0 win over North Carolina. That was 2 weeks ago. Obviously, had the advantage with the extra man for most of that game. Keep an eye on the right, Bruno Lapa. He'll drift in. May also maybe a little busy wide with those overloads that Louisville loves to employ.
We look out to the field. Parochial foes. They say familiarity breeds contempt. These teams have seen each other quite a few times down the years, 12 in total. Both teams have scored in 11 of those 12 ties, so goals should be on offer on a slick night in the state of Kentucky. Look at the watch by the center official tonight, Nabil Bensala, and we are off from Louisville. This is a Memphis team, Ross, that likes to vary their attacking approach. They can go long and they can play in tight areas as Lou starts their build.
Yeah, should be in for a fun one tonight, Peyton. I think both of these teams love to play quality football in very different fashions. You see that those front three pressing from Louisville all night tonight. Memphis like to do it a little bit differently, but they can score goals in bunches on occasion. Obviously had some success here last year, but this is a very different Louisville team now here in 2024.
Stephen Glass has been able to take this Memphis side over the last year that he's been in charge into Louisville and have some success, as you mentioned, getting the result last season. As Louisville play in from the near touch line. See how Memphis decides to press today. That'll be an interesting part of this game.
You know, keep an eye on the conditions. As you can see, the rain coming down as the remnants of Helene make their way hopefully out of the area. It's moving very, very slowly though, so it'll be a wet night tonight. Both goalies will have to be on their toes with ball skipping off the surface in this one, as well as those key first touches for the outfield players.
Whistle goes. First foul of the night. Memphis team that leads the league in yellow cards and red cards, so something to keep an eye on, the temperature of this tie as we head on through the duration of the contest. Turchi. Skips one in the mid-park. It's picked off. Davila darts one over the top in the vicinity of Wilson Harris, who latches on and whacks one out of touch.
Yeah, Wilson Harris, we'll see him float all over that front line, left, right, center. Quality goal scorer. Quality sideburns too.
He's been a sharp blade all year long. Pacing the side for goals, 16 on the year. Coming into this one, though, in a 3-match league scoring drought, which matches the longest of the year for him.
Yeah,
No Philip Goodrum in this game on the red card suspension. Picked up against Detroit, against his former club.
Yeah, this team just so tough to play at home. 12 wins there this year, only the one loss to Rhode Island. And the last time they've lost 2 in a row, it's been a long time. They actually lost 3 in a row last year, and the first of those 2 was to Detroit. The second and third of those lost. That was back in July of last year.
Ordonez. And on the half-turn, Winder.
The offense has come a bit back to earth. You and I talked about this pre-game, Peyton. They've only had 1 goal. They only scored once, 1 goal in 4 of their last 5.
Trying to get right on that end right now.
Obviously, in the other game, they scored 6. Kind of makes up for it a little bit.
Sure. It is a Louisville side that have aspirations of maybe chasing down that vaunted 2019 Phoenix Rising side for some goal-scoring records this year. They have scored for fun all season long, but you're right, Ross, it has dried up a little bit in these recent stages. Maybe able to get right with a set piece or 2. They've been pretty good at that.
Yeah, you talked to Coach Cruz about corners and how much success he's had as an assistant coach. He was in charge of all set pieces. Always a danger here, the men in purple, from the set piece.
Delivered in. Still for play. And darted away by Memphis.
Very similar to the corner that he scored on in the playoffs last year with Cameron Lancaster. Came onto it in that exact same spot. Didn't work out this time, though.
Whipped into the box. And all to play for Taylor Derrick in goal. Commonwealth Credit Union. You can learn more about how we can help you meet your financial goals. Visit WeSeeYouDifferent.com.
Speaking of Cameron Lancaster, now Lexington in the USL League One had a hat-trick recently. I think we said the second player to have a hat-trick in both USL League One and Championship, along with Ronaldo Damas. Certainly good company there.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we'll see him back in the Championship next year with Lexington.
Player who scored plenty of goals in these confines down the years.
Certainly be one of the best derbies to keep an eye on next year. The Kentucky, I can't call it the Kentucky Derby. There's already one of those.
Piercing pass played forward, just ducked away. Serrano back in the starting 11 today on the ball.
Yeah, he was effective off the bench in that loss to Detroit. Mentioned that red card to Goodrum really changed things in that contest. Certainly perhaps a potential semi-final matchup we could see in the Eastern Conference. Emerson Hyman with the foul there.
Perez the one that went down.
Bill Vensler with an early word from Samuel Carriaga.
Skyscraping pass towards the back line of Memphis. Turchi keeps it on. Something from Marlon to chase. All the way back to the goalkeeper Lass. Louisville side so good on the ball, so composed.
Yeah, definitely the class of the Eastern Conference, perhaps all of the USL Championship this season. Got to knock it around on this big pitch at Lynn Family Field. One thing, that was one area that Danny Cruz thought he could expose Memphis a little bit, as you mentioned to him in our call. Peyton, Memphis playing a little narrow in that 4-2-3-1. Getting wide here though, early with Marlon. Looking to get in for. That's a lovely tackle by McFadden. That's what he's there for.
And may strike out on the attack for Louisville. Just a heavy touch there from Serrano. Memphis trying to find a bit of a toehold on the ball. Side that likes to have it. Top 10 in the league in possession. Louisville toward the bottom of the division in that category.
It's been a good start for the visitors.
Could this be something brewing? Swept wide. Marlon's there. Chopped along. It's Akeem Ward to the byline. Shuttled in. Still there. Fired at goal and fired just high. Carriaga arriving late and putting laces to that one, lifting it just over the target.
Yeah, great work forward here by Akeem Ward. Lovely cutback cross. Louisville made a bit of a mess of it. Carriaga just couldn't get that head over, keep it down. What a start that would have been. Louisville got off to a great start against Detroit on Sunday, but just couldn't find the back of the net. Denied a couple of times by Saldana. Looking to find their feet here. Memphis looking good early.
Goal kick for the home side. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Louisville been playing PlayStation football all year long, Ross.
Right, on easy level? Maybe not easy level. I'll give you intermediate these days. Yeah, they certainly do make easy work of some teams. I mentioned that game against Miami on Wednesday. That one could get a little ugly. That is one of the two games in hand that Louisville do have on Charleston in that race for the top two spots.
You saw Charleston within touching distance of Louisville in the table as the foul is called. Important to note, though, yeah, those two games in hand pretty much illustrate what could be a fairly large delta between those two sides. Down the line. Interesting to see how Louisville are choosing to clog up the middle of the park in their defensive structure. Davila.
Similar to what Detroit City did last weekend. Only 4 at the back, and they went 3 at the back and packed the midfield, and it worked beautifully. Here's some space, though.
On the flank, Perez wrapping in, bending to the byline. Adrian Perez shuffling and just skipping one off the outside of the post. The goal was at his mercy, and he just couldn't quite conjure the proper connection.
There's a lovely little shoulder shimmy here by Perez to shake off the defender. Open things up right there. Did have a ton of traffic in front. Perhaps should have gone far post. Snatched it a little bit.
Those wide areas continue to offer good fortune, though, for the home team.
Yeah, that was the first real scary moment for Memphis, for sure. I mentioned Perez hasn't played a ton of late. Dealing with some injuries and illness last game.
He started one of the last 5 matches, only played 28 minutes in that. Working back from an injury that kept him out for a couple months in the middle of the year.
Yeah, Danny Cruz, so many attacking options available in this squad. So many threats.
Not short for choice as that ball delivered into the gloves of Tyler Derrick. Something Louisville do so well, the development of the depth of this team and the recruitment, the way that they build the roster.
It's in 34 games, it's a long season. Playoffs, you got to win 4 straight games now with the 8-team format.
Louisville have led the league in substitutions every year that Danny Cruz has been in charge, dating back to 2021, and that might speak a little bit to that.
Well, for sure, he's done a great job, Danny Cruz. Obviously, some rumors this week of some interest from the likes of St. Louis FC in MLS. And deservedly so with what he's done with this squad over the last few years.
On a bit of a run here, McFadden. But no, you're absolutely right. Cruz has earned the opportunity to have his name breathed in those conversations with those MLS clubs.
Yeah, he's still young, right, though? He's in his mid-30s. Rare to see that coaches that kind of age getting a chance in MLS, but he's obviously done enough to impress. See how long he lasts here in Louisville. Love to take a cup home this year for sure. If he ends up going somewhere.
Waiting for reinforcements to arrive.
You really see Lapa's free roll there. Took it on the left, now floating over to the right. He's just going to try and find those soft spots.
Look at some of the weather elements affecting the game. It was raining a little bit harder prior to kickoff. It's slowed up a bit now. Our hearts go out to everybody affected by the Hurricane Helene.
Yeah, it's weird to see a hurricane affect so many people. Such a large storm from Florida to the Carolinas, Georgia, and all the way up here. Hopefully soccer can take a little bit away from those thoughts of what's been going on with this, what some people have been dealing with this storm.
Danny Cruz trying to solve the riddle. What have you made of the tactical showdown 12 minutes in?
I think it's been a tight one. I've been very impressed with Memphis so far. As I mentioned, looking to emulate what Detroit City did. The more and more you see of these teams, this is what we can do if we to try and soften what Louisville brings, right? It's pack that midfield, trying to avoid those overloads in the middle at least.
It was something on the mind of Danny Cruz, that number advantage that in this 4-2-3-1, Memphis sometimes can conjure as they tuck those wingers in, but they've done a good job dealing so far.
Yeah, it's just be a question of how quickly they can get forward once they turn that ball over. They're trying to do here in the middle third and get bodies flowing forward.
Room to range forward. Winder plays the pass in. Wilson Harris. The cutback never makes its way through. It was Akeem Ward with the cover.
Well, the key is going to be on those two in the middle of the park, and Hyman and Duncan, how much they can get forward and help that offensive side of things or get pinned back by this Louisville offense.
Whipped wide by Davila. Swept into the area. Unable to tame it with the first touch was Perez. And pushed wide once more. Borzak. Oh, that's a fine pass. Carriaga carrying forward, laid off. It's Bruno Leppa! And the roadside roll in front here in Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville caught a little bit on the transition. You mentioned that pass, Peyton. It opened everything up. Just like that second goal against Detroit City. Louisville caught on the break. Bruno Leppa makes them pay.
He scored in the first minute in the playoff match last year, and he opens the scoring again here today. It's a composed finish.
It was a good pass as well by Carriaga to open things up just wide enough to give him that angle.
Something to chase for Louisville now as Memphis get a dreamy start. Unfriendly confines of Lynn Family Stadium. Home side have only been beaten here in league play once all season, but face some real peril now. Quarter of an hour in, and Stephen Glass and his guys are flying. It all opens up on the counter.
Yeah, Listen, Louisville were pushing for that goal against Detroit, obviously down to 10 men on Sunday, but just one pass there, ripped them apart basically down the middle. That's not the last goal we're going to see tonight, I don't think.
I think that's a fair assumption. Davila strings the ball wide there as there was a man lurking maybe from an offside position. Fans, when Lou City wins, you win. This season, Lou City has partnered with Wendy's to give you a free small Frosty if the boys in purple win. No purchase necessary. The offer is valid the following day after a win. Head to any participating Louisville area Wendy's location to redeem.
Some work to do for the Frosty tonight.
Always worth it, though.
They still do the vanilla ones? The vanilla and chocolate, they still do those?
I think so, yeah.
It's been a while since I've had one.
Along with a couple other seasonal flavors.
You're not one of those guys that dips their fries in it when you paint?
Yes, I am.
Oh, boy.
I was raised right, Ross. Carriaga. And Marlon playing with an emboldened swagger following the go-ahead goal from Bruno Lappa moments ago. You wonder how the game changes, how much Memphis might bunker. It's not really in their nature to do so.
No, a little too early for that, I think, on the roads. I think I mentioned to you before this game, sort of a free shot for Memphis. They've been playing super well. Anything you can get from this game would be considered a bonus. If you come out with 3 points, what a momentum shift that would be for the rest of the season. Obviously coming in, playing very well. Only one loss in their last 6. And that one was to a red-hot Switchbacks team on the road. Never an easy place to play.
Also got a little bit of extra time to get ready for this match as well.
Yep.
Coming off the win against NCFC. Louisville entering this one off a hard-fought rivalry tie against Detroit. And pinned in here, Borzak wins a corner.
At this point in the season, when everybody's dealing with knocks, an extra week off can make such a big difference. Obviously, Louisville, the short week, having played on Sunday.
Memphis set their attention toward the target within swing. Top 5 in the league in set-piece goals this year with a total of 12 on the campaign. Carriaga already has 1 assist to his name. It's a well-placed ball and buried into the back of the net. It's a brace for Bruno Lappa, who strides away.
What a start for the visitors, and once again, Louisville beaten at the far post on a set piece. It happened in that opening goal against Detroit. They just lost track of the runner. Almost an exact copy of the goal against LaRouge. Carriaga with his 2nd assist already tonight.
What a ball that is.
Lappa just snuck in there at the back post. It wasn't an easy finish. He had work to do. Damien Lass was coming over but couldn't do anything about it.
Such a well-worked routine. Bruno Lappa is having a great day at the office.
Lynn Family Stadium is dead quiet.
That's his 10th goal of the year, and he has been a player that has been pivotal all season long. He's played a huge part tonight, as we might be getting a little bit of a stud change from the goalkeeper. Who would have seen this coming, though?
Listen, Memphis obviously playing well, as you mentioned, but yeah, coming in here and taking a 2-goal lead in the first 18 minutes. I don't think many people had that on their bingo sheet. And Tyler Derrick changing his cleats on this lovely lush grass. It's one of the best surfaces in USL Championship. Fans want to get things going again.
I don't think it's time wasting this early.
No. Listen, surprising. Goalkeepers not only the ones that are changing their cleats at this time. We've seen it happen occasionally. Is Danny Cruz having a word about the time being taken here? It will be added on.
I think Tyler Derrick might know what's about to come towards his goal, as Louisville now have every incentive to chase the game, extend, and try and apply pressure to the opponent's target.
Yeah, I think Danny Cruz should be complaining about the break here, because this gives his team perhaps a chance to get a little mentally sorted with the way this first 20 minutes has gone. The referee, Derek, I'm 36, ref. Do things a little slower than I did 10 years ago. I'm sure Memphis want to keep going here and keep this momentum going, so I don't think they're wanting to have this game stop. Back underway now.
Pass picked off in mid-park. Battling to win it back is Perez. No foul. Trying to pull off a classy maneuver on the touchline was Marlin, and then a hard collision.
Emerson Hyman luckily not to get away with a card there. That was a nasty challenge from behind. He still might get one, but looks like perhaps just a chat from Bensela.
A look here at Hyman, extending and just slid on that slick in service.
That's a textbook caution if I've ever seen one, but Emerson Hyman, the former, I have to mention my boys AFC Bournemouth, Atlanta United man. That was certainly a Premier League style tackle.
Play continuing here. This portion of tonight's match is presented by Toyota. Kentuckiana Toyota dealers.
I learned that word 2 days ago for the first time, Payne.
Kentuckiana?
Never heard it before.
I can see that.
I need to be more traveled.
Not your native tongue. Picked up by Perez and Harris. And quickly crowded out. Well, how about that dribble? And winning the whistle there, Zach Duncan. Been such a good add to this Memphis team in the pivot.
Yeah, he's got a little bite to him. Duncan feeling that challenge, though.
Player that's fought injuries throughout his career, was a highly touted prospect coming out of Australia.
Offside.
Whistle goes. USL Championship Soccer wraps up September on the ESPN networks with a Western Conference top-of-the-table clash. Sac Republic takes on the conference leader and playoff-bound New Mexico United. That's Sunday night, tomorrow night, September 29th, as that ball is dealt with in the area. That's going to be a big one, Ross.
Definitely. All these tilts are big coming up here. They all seem to have playoff implications, whether for one team or both at this point, especially in the West where things are so tight.
Diving clearance by Ward. Been waiting all year long, some corners of the league, for New Mexico to come back down to earth, and they just refuse to do so.
Yeah, they had a little rough patch, and then just picked it up again, running away with that #1 seed.
Replay of a recent match between the two teams. New Mexico won that one at home. Kind of solidified their intentions of really competing for that Western Conference crown. Trying to get off the hook here right now, Memphis. Hemmed in. Imagine the next 10 minutes or so will be crucial in determining the course of action. Serrano carving away, fired in, and just flushed wide at the near stick.
That was more like it from Louisville. The deep turnover. Serrano, quick feet, turning it into a chance from Adrian Perez. I think it may have skimmed the outside of the post. A little hesitation move there by Serrano. He may have clipped the outside of the post. Hard to tell, though. With a little stanchion there at the bottom.
That's what's made Louisville so dangerous this year. The added opportunity that they get from winning the ball in those high areas.
Yeah, they just turn it into chances so often, so quickly. The other team just doesn't have a chance to even catch their breath, and it's in the back of the net.
One possession, a league high 152 times this year in the final third, Louisville. Ball through, falls kindly. It's Wilson Harris around the keeper. Wilson Harris renews the interest for Louisville, who grab one back.
This game had the potential for the barn burner. We're a quarter of the way there. 3 goals already here in the first 25 minutes. As Wilson Harris pumps his fist. It's a lovely ball through there. Harris staying on side. calm, composed finish and almost cleared off the line in the end.
It's almost like Memphis thought that the initial runner was in an offside position and just pulled up.
Initially, it looked like Lucas Turchi had pushed it wide, just couldn't get enough on it to steer it past the post. And it's on the score sheet once again.
You didn't think Louisville would go quietly.
No. So we saw that 6-4, watch out. Saw that 6-4 game a few weeks ago. We may have a repeat of that here tonight.
How does that change the equation? That's the question now. Ward trying to work one in over the top, well covered by McFadden. Flags up on the far side.
It's been a fun, open game. Both teams looking to get things forward at every opportunity.
To the wide side, driving forward and a stabbing tackle by Borzak.
He wanted the throw, he thought he got the deflection off the leg of the Louisville player.
What's the whistle for there? Bill Ben Salah, a cascade of boos. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Select matches, including the championship final, will be available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings.
Speaking of finals, we've got the Jaeger Cup final tonight.
Absolutely.
USL League One.
And a rousing tournament all the way through. You think something like that might work at the championship level?
Listen, I'm hoping we can see something between the two leagues, which I know was discussed going into this season. Obviously, USL League One needed to fill out their schedule a bit with just 2 games between each side in the balanced schedule this year, which was great to see. It worked beautifully, I think. I think we got the 2 best teams in the tournament in the final as well. Let's see a trophy lifted is always fun.
Northern Colorado have been excellent in that competition, having yet to lose. Right now, though, attention cast to the boys in purple. Perez punched wide. Winder. Serrano connecting with Diop, who had just crept beyond the last shoulder of the last man. Here's the crew today, James Dulling and Stephen Milholm running the lines with Christopher Slane, the 4th official.
So we'll keep you abreast of some scores around the championship that may affect these 2 teams. The other goals so far, we had the early game, El Paso with a bit of an upset over North Carolina, and Pittsburgh with a 1-0 lead over Birmingham at the break. Both those 2 teams trying to solidify a playoff position.
I believe it was a 90th minute winner for El Paso. Once more fanning the flames, Louisville, Perez, and just left wide of the mark.
And Louisville playing their way right back into this game over the last 10 minutes. Looking much more like the Lou City we're used to, dangerous on every attack now. Perez looking for the little return ball, he got it, just scuffed this one a little bit with his left foot. Couldn't get it on target. It's unlikely to beat Tyler Derrick there at his near post.
How about these spaces Perez is getting into right now? We thought he might function more as a right-sided winger in this alignment for Danny Cruz, but he's really been everywhere.
That's Danny Cruz's style of ball, right? Just wherever the ball is, just try and get players into that vicinity and find those soft spots wherever it might be.
On high by Derrick, too high in fact.
Memphis looking a little shell-shocked right now. Need to get a foot on the ball and calm things down. Not much possession here over the last 5 minutes.
Had to know that Louisville was going to get something on the score sheet at some point. They don't get shut out. It just doesn't happen. Only been kept scoreless on 2 occasions all year long. Too much firepower in the arsenal of Danny Cruz and company. Line splitting pass, the flag is up.
That was close. I'm not sure about that one. The fans' reaction tells you all you need to know.
So much space between lines right now that Louisville is attacking in between midfield and the defensive four for Memphis.
Yeah, it's just fun soccer. I think we've seen too many backward passes tonight so far in this one. Everything's been looking to go forward.
The analytics crowd will love that.
And the neutrals too. I mean, listen, Memphis surely knew coming into this one they'd have to score multiple goals to come away with anything. They've got 2 already. They may need 3.
We have seen some crazy games this year with Louisville. Think about the derby in this very stadium against Indy 11. You mentioned the 6-4 with North Carolina FC earlier this year. Tidy possessional play there from Memphis. This is something Danny Cruz mentioned to us in the build-up to this one when the ball is at the feet of Luca Turci. How dangerous going back to front Memphis can be. Davila.
One thing Danny Cruz did mention to us was working on that defensive transition that did cost them on that second goal. Just picking up the runners. So both Championship and League One, such transitional set-piece leagues. We've already seen it tonight.
That's great stuff from Memphis, and maybe starting to unlock the defense until that ball bounds away.
Stephen Glass encouraging his players to get up the field. Doesn't want them sitting back.
Feels like the midfield has been a little bit disconnected from the attack so far.
Yeah, certainly since those first opening 18 minutes.
To the touchline, it's Dia. Swerving and swirling and backheeling. Still Dia. Trundled over in the area. And it's nothing more than a point to the corner flag.
Yeah, Dia knew what he was doing there. He was running out of space and time. Tried to get a penalty out of it, but waved away by referee Bensala. A little backheel move there, though. Zada was over there, as was Sissoko.
Looks like it was probably shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, I think it was a good call in the end by referee Bensala.
A 5-5 corner kick coming for Louisville. They've made their bones from the flag since Danny Cruz took over. 47 corner kick goals, 17 more than anybody else in the league in that period.
Yeah, he talked in his chat midweek. He said when he wasn't in charge, he was working on getting them 1% better, and that was on the set pieces.
In by Serrano, applying the knuckle is Derek. Dia coasting forward. It was a dangerous ball, and it still might be trouble. Serrano. Chased down and floated to the back post. Squaring ball. Winder.
Crucial
left
foot
the leg
there.
out.
Yeah, Lapa, crucial foot in there. Take that off the foot of Winder. All sorts of chaos going on in that Memphis penalty area. It was a good punch by Derek to get that ball out of there on the corner. Lots of traffic. Winder just a little late.
Memphis once more just unable to get rid, quite frankly, as that ball just hung at the top of their box.
Yeah, Lapa just beat him to it. If the header had gone back across goal in the 6-yard box, it certainly would have been a little more dangerous. There was bodies in there in purple. Lapa appears to be okay on his feet.
Ball set for a goal kick, or rather a free kick at the top of the box. That ball is a Select Ball, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, it's the player's choice. Darted forward by Davila. It's a good ball. Louisville with the set, playing with their tails up, driving and striding, and just chipped away.
Yeah, what a ball by Davila. He was under a bit of pressure in the press, but If you're going to press, you got to make sure everybody's on the same page, and just lost track of a runner there. Here's a chance, though.
Memphis coming the other way. It's Marlon laying off. Fired from distance and blocked. Lapo was hunting the hat trick. Once more. Tosh the one to meet it. What do these final 10 minutes of the half hold? Turchi. And Lapa and Marlon in a two-man game, and it doesn't come off. Perez pulsing forward, steaming down this flank, and just ran out of road. Now it's really starting to open up.
Yeah, Memphis have had several players back there, and that's going to be, oh no, it's only a tug of a jersey. I'm not sure if the referee saw it, though. It was on his blind side.
Play on, yeah.
Not happy with that decision, but it should have been a whistle blown about 5 seconds earlier for the jersey pull.
Marlon had gone to ground, didn't hear the whistle, got back up, got the ball back under his spell.
He went down rather easily, but listen, you're going to grab a jersey, you're going to get called for it 99% of the time. So the right decision was made in the end.
So Memphis, who already have scored once from a set piece so far in the game, salivate over another here. Rossi remarks in the pre-match build-up, not a lot of size on this Louisville side.
Yeah, just got to make sure they track the runner at the back post on this one.
Good news for them. The guy who's punished them twice already, and most recently on a corner, is the one delivering this ball, Bruno Lapa. Headed toward the target and skipped wide. Looks like it was Sissoko who met that.
Yeah, not the best delivery by Lapa in the end.
Memphis engaging a little bit higher here off the goal kick.
Yeah, Stephen Glass, as we saw earlier, was imploring his team to get forward, not let this Louisville team get settled.
Onto it's Perez, ever involved.
He's been everywhere tonight, Adrian Perez.
Advantage to be played for Louisville. Perez down behind the play. Swept into the box and called into action was Ward. It was a bit nervy, but it gets the job done.
That could have gone absolutely anywhere. Ward was inside his 6-yard box. Managed to knock it over the bar.
Always at the mercy of fate when the ball comes in like that.
So you can see these Memphis players just under pressure now, non-stop. It's like playing this Louisville team, just not only physically tough on you, mentally tough. You can't take a minute off.
Serrano cast a malicious gaze towards the Memphis goal. It's rolled in within swing. Sissoko rises highest. Bit of a blind ball to the top of the box. Ordonez and Tosh. And Walker. I should say Adams there. Davila. Longest spell of possession in the attacking half for some time now, Ross, for Louisville.
And speaking of time, it feels like this half has flown by. We've only got 7 minutes left. It's been non-stop action.
Into a dangerous spot. Dumped away. Marlon tangling. Punch back towards the goalkeeper. Less than declarative coming for that ball. Young goalkeeper with a bright future.
Yeah, spent some time in England with Fulham. See, it's a club that's had several Americans star over the years.
White taken out of Marlon. His play is allowed to continue. Winder. Smoothly wide, McFadden. There's Ray Serrano, those wing players with license to roam. Ball blazed in. Nobody home. Strong tackle by Adams, who gets involved in the attack. Taken towards goal. Oh my word, what a hit! A devastating dart. Taylor Davila, take a bow.
That's what Danny Cruz told us midweek. He thinks he's one of the best center midfielders in the league. What a stop that was by Adams to turn it over, and Davila left Tyler Derrick standing flat-footed. Could do nothing about that one. A great strike off the post and in.
A touch and a take. Davila makes his mark. It's tailor-made.
Yeah, Derrick just looked up and he knew he was beaten by the power and the placement on that shot. That was top class from a top-class midfielder.
And just like that, in a plume of purple smoke, it all goes up in smoke for Memphis.
Still a long way to go, but they've certainly been, it's been a half of halves. First 20 minutes, they were by far the better side, but Louisville grown into the game and grown in confidence, and now just flooding bodies forward.
And they're looking for more, they're hungry. Here's Harris, stepping over, slicing one in. Tracked down by McFadden. Sharp collision there. Ordonez going through the back.
And Memphis just need to get to the half here. The referee Bensler says no more of that. That was a hefty challenge. Second one on Marlon, who's been in the wars tonight. Louisville clearly decided to put a bit of physicality on him, test him.
How deep he has to drop now just to get a sniff of the ball.
Yeah, he's been central, he's been wide. Memphis just need to get control of this game and just try and get it to the half without any more damage being done.
Davila, a long touch, strides away. And a foul given in mid-park. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Tell you what, this one has been worth your time, worth your listen, worth your eyes. 2-2 as we approach the curtain fall. These are a pair of sides that really have legitimate machinations of maybe pushing to win something at the end of this year.
This is certainly a statement game, right? Especially Louisville coming off that loss to Detroit. Memphis want to show they can still get a run at that second spot. At least home through the semifinals in the West.
Looking for a little bit of revenge too. Playoff game last year, ending in penalties. Louisville coming away from that one smiling on a run all the way to the Eastern Conference Final, which oddly enough would be classified maybe a disappointing season for Louisville.
Yeah, finishes the 5th seed, obviously. Had to go on the road. Careful.
Ordonez hemmed in by Marlon. Lass. And away. And once they've broken the first line of pressure, there's plenty of green grass, but heavy pass rolls over the far touchline.
And Louisville's movement off the ball is something to watch. Players have so many options ahead of them every time. Diagonal runs, vertical runs, runs into space. It's just so difficult to stop. Memphis looked like they had it on the first 18 minutes, but then Louisville come right back into this one.
A strong arm from Toe should join the pressure. It's been so fluid from Louisville. Feels like every player has the license to run up and replace and go chase the game. There's a lot of bravery in the side right now.
Listen, that's the thing with this side. Just push bodies forward. Not only leave two back sometimes because they know that they're unlikely to lose possession in that final third. Just so dangerous when they get the ball.
We've seen this 3-4-3 shape popping up across the league the last 3 seasons. Phoenix Rising using it to good effect to lift a trophy at the end of last season.
Yeah, the key is the wing backs, right? Are you playing 3 at the back or are you really playing 5? 3-4-3 is so much fun to watch. Can be dangerous, as you mentioned, on the transition. Just got to be a little careful. You're not pushing too many bodies forward, picking the right times to go, and Louisville just seems to have the knack at doing that. This is the reason why Danny Cruz, certainly one of the hottest young coaches in the game.
Tosh. Board's gone up. It's going to be 4 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah, Louisville got taken down there. Take the free kick from the right spot. And a half it's been. I need a breather.
Stoppage time is presented by Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Again, these refs have added 4 minutes. It's been pretty free-flowing, though. You noted that. It's passed by like nothing. Perez trying to make good use of these ticks of the clock. Davila, who's already scored 1 today, and Perez now carving and crashes it just beyond the reach of the post, and there's a man down.
Yeah, Perez should perhaps have had a crack at this one first time. Davila came with a delightful turn. Yeah, Turchi was on the ground there, kind of stuck a leg out. He did a good job, Turchi, to intercept that pass, and again, just to make himself big.
And it was Sissoko going full stretch to intervene in some way.
Yeah, he may have hurt himself on that one.
Would be a big blow for Memphis. He's been a stalwart all year long. Sissoko down. It's a player that's only missed 13 minutes since the month of May. He has been Mr. Dependable for Stephen Glass. Hopefully he's all right to carry on, but certainly in a lot of discomfort.
Danny Cruz has some late words for his men. Certainly have at least another minute added on here. Not something that man wants to see, Stephen Glass.
So what do you make of how this has played out so far? Memphis going ahead 2-0, really in the blink of an eye. Louisville looks around and understands that they've got plenty of time to get back into the game and certainly plenty of quality, and boy, have they.
Listen, Louisville didn't panic. They know what they have. They just stuck in there, hung around until they got that goal and then turned things on. I was really impressed with the start that Memphis got off to, but it's been all downhill since then for them. Or uphill, I should say. Louisville look like they're playing downhill. Sissoko certainly in some pain there. That would be bad, poor time to have to make a substitution here. Hopefully he can get to the break, which is going to be at least another couple minutes away here, headed to that 4. Let's look at Kyle Adams, captain for this Louisville squad. See if we can take another look at what happened to Sissoko here. Turchi was down. Sissoko come in from the left side here. He's like he got caught perhaps by Perez after the shot, just sort of following through. Hopefully just a bang rather than a... He's feeling it, whatever it was. If he can walk it off.
It's a good point by you, though. If he can make it to the end of the half and give Memphis time to think about how they want to approach the second frame, if they have to change it, that would be huge.
He's a big body, Sissoko. Not easily replaced at the back there.
Not a lot of natural options in the team today for Stephen Glass to play another center half out.
Sissoko looking a little less gingerly than he was a few seconds ago. See if he stays on the sideline or heads down the tunnel. He's going to try and run it off.
At this point, you would likely prefer to play down to 10 men for the end of the frame, correct?
Oh man, it's a tough one against a side like Louisville here. They can punish you with 10 men. And down that man, it's going to be tough. Let's see if he can come back on here.
Shelled away by Derek. Skipping away, McFadden. Sissoko waiting to come back on.
With a heavy limp.
Just trying to give it his best. These final flickers of the first half.
See if Louisville go right at him. So they're going to have at least 3 minutes added onto those 4, you would think. Memphis just chasing shadows at the moment.
Into the channel. Chopped away, falling for Winder! That is a worldie of a hit. Just passed it into the bottom corner.
Yeah, given far too much space there. Elijah Winder.
Elijah Winder.
He made the initial pass into the channel, kept going, and it was a poor clearance by Turchi. A lot of traffic to go through too, as you'll see from this angle. Perhaps Winder, a lot of bodies, and that's a quality finish. Derek scrambling across, but couldn't get there in time.
It really is picture book technique from him on that strike.
It's hard to keep them down when you get those balls passed back to you like that. You're going back the other way. Sometimes tendency to smash them over the bar. That was a beautifully composed finish by Winder, and Memphis won't get to the half at 2-2, unfortunately.
It's just what they do.
It's just Louisville being Louisville, as everybody that's watched them play this season knows, even down 2-0. We mentioned we didn't think there'd be only 2 goals tonight, and we've already got 5.
Sissoko.
Bad news for Memphis in Colorado. Colorado Springs have taken the 1-0 lead against Loudoun early in that one.
Fired forward. Fizzing ahead was Borzak, and just escaped him.
Results hold. That would give Colorado Springs a 5-point cushion over Memphis for that second spot. 4 games remaining for both those sides after tonight.
Everything's so cluttered in the middle to bottom of that Western Conference playoff picture. Nothing is really settled in stone yet. Memphis with a really rough run to the finish line in terms of their schedule. Some hard games coming up.
That was going to be such a fun final month with so much riding on each of these games. It's almost like the playoffs begin now.
Winder again winding away.
He was about to wind up too, and he got fouled. Now a dangerous free kick position here is Memphis. Just trying to hang on here. Turning Heinemann inside out. Sissoko with a crunching challenge. Obviously not feeling that leg too much on that one. Pleading his case with the referee, but not going to win that decision.
Louisville has scored 2 of their 3 today from outside the box. It would be a heck of a trinity if they can puncture the opponent again here.
And McFadden put it down. Davila's there. Obviously 1 goal to his name already tonight from distance.
5th, 3rd free kick. Davila and McFadden casting their shadow over the ball. It's a strong barricade for Tyler Derrick.
And one thing going for Memphis is it's a little central. We'll take a special strike from here.
McFadden glances it just off the top of that wall. You saw the idea was just trying to get it up and over the way that Louisville put a couple players in the wall in their own right to try and obscure the vision of the goalkeeper. Again, it's Louisville. A firm-throated threat from the corner flag. Derrick punches away. And 2 whistles in the frame.
What a half. It was all Memphis early, but Louisville came right back into this one at the 20-minute mark, and 3 goals now and a 1-goal lead going into the break.
That is something of a response from Danny Cruz and his bunch. They were 2-0 down early. They end this half up 3-2. Louisville City showing the league exactly who they are, who we've known them to be all year long. And the home side are flying high into the dressing room. Memphis with work to do. We'll break it down at the half when we come back.
You ready to lose?
Oh, you wish. Let's go.
It's time to power up your old checking account. That's why Commonwealth Credit Union created Power Checking. This incredible all-in-one account powers your spending, and with built-in high-yield savings, grows your balance at the same time. No minimums, no limits, just unparalleled benefits.
Best 2 out of 3.
Let's go.
Get to the next level with Power Checking, only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Here at WDRB, we are proud to partner with Susan G. Komen for the annual More Than Pink Walk. This event is a powerful movement to raise awareness and funds for breast cancer research, treatment, and support.
Join us at Slugger Field to celebrate survivors, remember those we've lost, and to take action to save lives.
Create a team and get your pink gear ready to join us October 12th. Whether you're walking in honor of a loved one
or to support the cause, every step you take brings us closer to a world without breast cancer. Where do you get your news?
Is WDRB the soundtrack to your morning routine?
Or you can scroll on the go with the WDRB News app.
If you've already cut the cord, start streaming our news on WDRB+.
Maybe you like to read a more in-depth story and you use WDRB.com.
When weather's the biggest story of your day, the WDRB Weather app has video forecasts and radar.
However you choose to get your news, WDRB is the source.
Room with a view. That's what you get with the powerful new Toyota Tundra.
The electrified iForce Max powertrain can deliver up to 437 horsepower.
And this was easy. Tundra can tow up to 12,000 pounds.
And it's got the best resale value in its class.
Now you can make room for a new 24 Tundra and get 3.99 APR financing for 72 months, $2,000 customer cash, or a low $449 a month lease.
Nobody knows trucks like Toyota. Let's go places.
Here at the half, where the barn is certainly burning. It's 3-2 in this tie between Louisville City and Memphis 901 FC, as we take a look at some of the best of the goals and the saves of this last week in the USL Championship.
This will be the first Chattanooga corner kick brought to you by Metal Gold. In-swinger headed on, pushed up by Delgado again. Back-to-back beauties for Lalo Delgado. First one off the set piece, second one off the corner.
Spokane settling into a defensive shape. Long shot from range. Unstoppable strike. John Murphy with a highlight reel goal.
At North Texas, as Daniel Bruce connects with hers. What a save from Faroux. The Frenchman stands tall.
Mateus collects. Mateus goes for goal and scores! A moment of magic for Darwin Mateus in his Birmingham debut.
Some great goals there. We've seen some great goals here. We carry on with halftime coverage from Louisville City and Memphis 901 FC when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
New flavors. The same traditions. Be the guest of honor. more flavor to your parties. El Jimador. Spiked Bebidas.
Finds the back of the net. Mukwele Akale, both from direct free kick.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Yeah, trick. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead.
Summer won't last forever, but during Toyota's national sales event, you can make memories that will.
Come on.
There you go. Whoa.
Where's my mom? Just be in the moment.
Get an adventurous new 24 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid with 4.99 APR financing, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 for $339 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance. Toyota, let's go places.
Some brave souls sticking it out here in Louisville, waiting on this second half to get kicked off in the rain and the elements in the state of Kentucky. Elsewhere, though, around the country, some news and notes from an exciting part of the calendar. Ross Davenport, this is how things are shaken down. It feels like Nick Marcanic is in this graphic every week. The guy just can't stop scoring.
Listen, what a season he's had. Obviously off to Europe next year. We'll see if he can do the same thing across the pond. And a big game tomorrow in the Western Conference, Sacramento, New Mexico.
And then across the country, as you said, in the West, things are heating up. It's pertinent for Memphis. Las Vegas been really one of the unbeatable sides in this recent run of games as they're looking up at New Mexico. Sacramento, they'll tangle on ESPN2 later on this weekend. Moving forward here as we look at some of the results rolling in from the early action today. And on Wednesday, Orange County, a big result at home against Phoenix Rising FC. Danny Stone, a little bit of revenge in that game. El Paso getting the result early on with the last-second winner against North Carolina FC already. And Pittsburgh with a nose in front against Birmingham Legion. Other live scores, anything catch your attention?
Yeah, it took Indy 11 a while to get going against Miami. That Colorado Springs goal obviously matters a ton in this one to Memphis as they battled with them for the top spot in the top 4.
The rest of the schedule looks like this. Plenty of action and swing. That San Antonio FC Rhode Island match, massive for both teams.
Yeah, Detroit obviously off that big win against Louisville. Now go west to play Monterey Bay. Not an easy place to play. Late game there for them. We'll see if they can pull out at least a point on that one.
A little bit of a desert derby late on tonight as the nightcap between Rising and Las Vegas, and of course the one we've circled in red already, Sacramento and New Mexico United. The schedule for Louisville goes as follows as they pursue a points record and the 1 seed. Miami FC, that's a game you would expect to be winnable at home, as much so as you can expect any game in this wild ride of a league. And then it gets pretty tough.
Yeah, listen, Indy, not an easy place to play. Obviously, the Rowdies, one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. That's going to be a big one. Obviously, depends what Charleston do on the other side of things, how important these games will be down the stretch for Louisville as they seek that number 1 seed.
And then, of course, the whole Hungry Dogs run faster thing with San Antonio FC and Phoenix Rising backing the pack, and Louisville might be able to set the points record against the team that currently holds it in Rising.
Yeah, we talked to Danny Cruz midweek. Was he going to rest anybody, do some rotation? He said no, he's going to go full tilt the rest of the way.
So much to sink your teeth into. We step aside. When we come back, it will be the second half between Louisville City and Memphis 901 FC. 3-2 at the break.
Okay, ideas. Where are we going?
I got one.
What about a comedy show?
I've seen you, I've swiped on you. No, okay?
Tacos. Definitely tacos.
The all-new Camry is 100% hybrid. Lease one now for $299 per month or get 4.99 APR financing. Find your vibe in the all-new, all-hybrid Camry. Toyota, let's go places.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the third health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I finally feel in control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to health.
So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's been said you shouldn't mess with a good thing. But when you get behind the wheel of the 2024 Toyota Tacoma, you'll know why we did. We took the best-selling truck in its class the past 19 years and made it better with trail-dominating power, legendary capability, and high-end performance. This Tacoma is built for fun, inside and out. Now it's your turn. Get 5.99 APR financing on a new 24 Tacoma or lease one now for $319 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
Rocking and roaring so far on this Saturday in Bluegrass. 3-2 Louisville City, a nose in front of Memphis 901 FC. And you'll see those numbers and know there's plenty to get into. Here is the highlights from the first half, and it was Bruno Lappa setting the pace early as Memphis 901 FC Ross Davenport were able to get the early edge. It didn't last long, but here's how it happened.
Got off to a great start. Lovely ball by Dylan Bojack to open things up. Cariaga with his first of 2 assists in the first 18 minutes. Lappa with a composed finish there. And it was stunning first 80 minutes. I mean, they doubled their lead just a few minutes later.
You said the first of 2 assists. Here would be the second, and here would be the second goal for Bruno Lappa.
Yep. The Louisville caught napping at the back post for a second straight game on a set piece. Lappa sneaking in there behind Davila. Another nice header, this time finishing in the far post. Yeah, everybody was a little stunned. This place was quiet, but things changed very quickly.
But you only get to poke a hornet's nest a couple times before those hornets wake up, and they did. Started off, Wilson Harris rounding the goalkeeper, unable to intervene in time. Luca Turci, that's another one for a guy who's got a couple on the shelf so far this year. Wilson Harris in fine form. A standout season for him continues, and his side would pour it on later on in the frame as this is one of the best goals you'll see all year.
Yeah, lovely turn, and what a finish off the post. Tyler Derrick couldn't do anything about it, and that's with his weaker foot. He takes corners with his free kicks with his left foot. That was Davila's right foot. You see the crowd enjoying that one, and yeah, Memphis were just trying to get to the half at 2-2, and it didn't happen.
At this point, Louisville were driving with a lead foot on the gas pedal. Memphis were just trying to ride it out, hemmed into their own half, and pulsed in to the near corner by a man who's having another great season in purple. Elijah Winder winds up and whacks it in, and here is what the tail of the tape shows, the numbers here from this first half, Ross.
Yeah, the XG wasn't pretty either, 1.34 to 0.5. Louisville just turned the screw once they scored that first goal. 19 touches in the opponent's box to only 7 for Memphis, and things don't bode well for Memphis. Louisville, 12 wins, no draws, 1 loss when leading at halftime in the championship this season. Memphis yet to win when trailing at the half.
As we widen our view back to the field of play, it looks like Memphis has maybe made a change. Dylan Borzak's going to come off, and Luis Fernando called upon out of the dugout by Stephen Glass.
Well, he made an immediate impact in that win over NCFC off the bench and scoring in just a few seconds. We're going to need a few of those here in the second half from him for sure if Memphis are going to get anything out of this contest.
Been a regular starter throughout the course of the year. Been called upon off the bench these last couple games. As you mentioned, he did score against NCFC. And it just takes a single bounce of the ball. These first 5 minutes feel like they might be telling in the case of Memphis.
Yeah, just can't come out tentative here. They have a ton of options on the bench offensively. Knight Pickering, obviously, as well as Panos Abmanakis. They can turn things around. We're sure we'll see them at some point here in the second half. But yeah, these first 10 minutes are going to be crucial. Just can't give up another one.
Substitutions presented by Fortnop.
Yeah, Stephen Glass certainly had some harsh words for his boys. Listen, just get back to how you were playing at the start of this game. The problem with Louisville is once they start flowing bodies forward, you perhaps play a little tentatively, a little scared, lose the bravery that they had in those first 18 minutes. Served them so well.
Didn't really press that advantage at all. It's felt lethargic for most of the game. Felt like those 2 goals, I'm not going to say came against the run of play, but almost emerged from nothing. A counterattack in a corner.
Yeah, Louisville just got off to the slow start, and Memphis took full advantage of it. See if they can do similar things here at the beginning of the second half. Just get possession. Trying to get control of the pace and tempo of this game. Slow things down a bit.
First touch for Fernando. Gobbled up in mid-park. Serrano. Wide, McFadden. Shape to shoot and shuffled it out of play for a corner kick.
5th corner of the night for Louisville to just 1 for Memphis.
And Danny Cruz said it. They watch every single corner taken and defended by their opponents every week. They drill this hard, as does Davila. The second ball entered into the box. Adams unable to gain access, and away on the counter. Nobody in front of Marlin. Laid off. Lass intervenes. What a save from him. He dons the cape, but Memphis go again. Driving toward the byline, ducked away. Ultimately, it's a biteless attack from Memphis, who probably would have expected more there.
Well, the goal there certainly could have changed the trajectory of this game. Marlin did the right thing, played it into the path. For Luis Fernando just had a little too much on it, and Lass made the right decision to come out for it. It was a late decision too. He was quick off his line, just enough to deny the chance for Memphis, but that would certainly have changed things big time if that one had gone in. Louisville caught napping again on the transition.
And that's the thing Danny Cruz pointed out to us, what he wanted this team that's been so good at almost everything to get better at in this final stretch. They've been vulnerable in that rest defense phase.
Yeah, they were flooding the box for that corner, and sometimes that's what happens if you get the clearance and the team goes quickly. Marlin was out on his own by a large margin too. Just didn't have really the pace to take it on his own. Fed the fresh legs of Luis Fernando, but came to nothing in the end.
Swapped wide, sifted in by McFadden. It's a biteless ball, gobbled up by Tyler Derrick.
Mike, yeah, that's his first save of the night. Peyton, 3 shots a goal, and they all went in. That's Tyler Derrick's first save.
Started the last couple games after Tristan Henry was brought in from Forge FC for competition in that position. Played pretty well, Henry, but they've gone back to the veteran Derrick. Memphis architecting away. Look how deep Lapa is.
Yeah, he wants to get involved. The problem is when he's playing deep, that leaves a hole out front. Now he's going a little further forward.
Hindman. Whistle stops play. What for?
If it hit the referee, perhaps?
Certainly took an odd hop. Be a drop ball, yeah.
He was trying to get out of the way. Sometimes that happens. Bruno Lapa wasn't happy about it. It certainly stopped a promising attack. No yellow cards for the referee there for doing such things.
Let's say I don't think the referee can give a yellow card to himself. Serrano, a tap dance. And a tight turn from Winder.
He's got such quick feet, Serrano. He goes one way to the other way in a split second.
Something to chase. Wilson Harris. Sissoko arrives. Picked up a bit of a knock at the end of that first half. Lucky for Memphis, he's been able to continue.
Yeah, he seems to have been able to walk it off. This is what Louisville do defensively. They just soak up the pressure in their final third and then just break the other way quickly. Flood bodies forward. Try turning over here as deep as they can too.
Vance ENT ahead of the curve. Relief around the corner, serving Louisville, Central Kentucky, and Southern Indiana. Memphis hoping to find some of that relief that's offered around the corner.
Yeah, it hasn't been a bad start to this second half. Obviously had that great chance. It's a little more comfortable. I think we'll have to keep an eye on. I mentioned Louisville do play on Wednesday. We asked Danny Cruz about the rotation, and he said he wasn't going to do it. Of course, what he actually does is it could be a completely different thing, especially when it's against Miami.
He will be able to take the tarp off Philip Goodrum in that game, coming off the red card suspension. That's
right.
Nice luxury to have. For
sure. Listen, exactly what he's brought in for. Some depth and some venom. A little too much venom, unfortunately, on Sunday.
Driving forward, carrying out of midfield. There's Quezada. Now Lapa. Connecting the dots in mid-park. Carriaga. Unable to link up with Marlon there. Louisville trying that line of confrontation a little bit deeper. Start this half. Swept up by Winder. He's really bloomed into a fabulous player, as that's the first caution of the match. Substitution being signaled there, as here's a replay. And it looks like it's Luis Fernando who's given the caution for either stopping a promising attack or what he had to say to the referee after.
Yeah, it's perhaps a little harsh. Here's the substitution. Leston Paul in for Zach Duncan. Pretty much a straight swap there. I haven't seen much of Leston Paul this season. Sporadic minutes here and there.
Club's longest serving player, been with them since 2019. Racked up upwards of 125 appearances. All-time high watermark for Memphis 901. He is put right in the crosshairs immediately by McFadden, who serves wide. Cut in front of Fernando. Quickly met by Adams, who forces a switch. What a recovery run. Oh, there by McFadden, and turning over the ball. Davila with devilish intent, darted wide. McFadden and Ward with a spirit-filled tackle.
Zach Duncan perhaps out of gas. He worked super hard that first half, chasing purple bodies backwards. Leston Paul gives them some fresh legs here as Lakeem Ward down. Well, not down, but certainly halfway down.
It's been a hard-charging game, and it's not going to be helped out by the fact that this southern humidity is no joke after the rainfall earlier.
Yeah, temperatures certainly haven't started to drop just yet.
What's going on in that head? Stephen Glass trying to solve this puzzle.
I think he'll be relatively pleased with these first 10 minutes of the second half. Well, perhaps not now.
Davila eyes the target. Unreal. It all turns purple. Luxurious Louisville attacking play. Taylor Davila has 2. Louisville have 4.
He's only given half a step, but that's all he needed to unleash that one. Look at this turn here. He just looked up and smashed it.
And bang.
Just far too much power on that for Tyler Derrick to handle. That's what this man can do. Mostly known for his assists, but he can score as well.
Have a day. Now 7 goals on the year for Taylor Davila, who is making a good first impression in his first campaign in Louisville Purple. You know, Danny Cruz said he thinks he might be the best midfielder in the league, feels that he's as underrated as anybody in the division, and was a priority signing in this offseason, and he has been in the engine room all year long. That was just fabulous play from him. Memphis trying to get it right back, though. Fernando. Is there another tilt to the tail? Luis Fernando. It's still there. Swept up by McFadden.
Davila certainly found his home here. Obviously playing for Los Dos, and then RGV saw them go away. But Danny Cruz knew what he'd seen and went after him. This one, Louisville come after you, it normally ends up with you signing. He knows what he wants, Danny Cruz, and obviously it works here in Louisville.
Coming off a season that left a little bit of a bitter taste. They were not playing around when it came to refreshing this team that brought back 22 players last year and just did not live up to the standard. Blazed wide. He'll grab it for a goal kick. Here's a look at Taylor Davila, the guy who's gotten a lot of goals, presented to you by the Kentucky Lottery. And he has hit the jackpot twice tonight.
Yeah, only 24 years old, and only just turned 24 as well in August. What a bright future ahead of him. Certainly, perhaps you'd have to think some MLS sides giving him a look this season. And they've taken a big step ahead since the move here to Kentucky.
Here's the number that stood out to me, Ross, in the build-up to this one. He's averaged a touch about every 90 seconds this year. The flag has popped up, much to the dismay of those in attendance.
Yeah, Amadou Diaz, perhaps the quietest member of this Lou City team tonight. He was looking to get a run in there, just perhaps half a step offside. Yeah, Davila always wanting to be around the ball. He's just got Elijah Winder alongside of him, providing some defensive help. Gives Davila more of that free option to go for a run when he wants to. That's all he can do there. First goal outside the box, inside the box, and now another chance here for Louisville.
Pounce on the ball in midfield and off to the races. It's Serrano. Shuffling in, Ray Serrano. Raised it high.
And he tried to go top shelf. Perhaps should have kept it low. Lovely interception from Serrano to take it off the toes of Sissoko, who's claiming he was held back. Turchi's, again, his rough night continues. He's been getting picked on a little bit. Did a good job, though, there of getting in the way at least.
Very nice reaction from a spectator behind the goal as well to get out of harm's way.
He's going to be ready in those standing areas. Protect your beer at all costs.
At the hour mark, Memphis need to turn this on its head if they're going to come out of it with anything on this bus ride home. Swept into Serrano. And Wilson Harris batted away by Derek, and he's able to recover in time to get there ahead of Adrian Perez. No rest for the wicket.
No, Wilson Harris has sort of floated in and out of this game. He hasn't had a quality chance in a while. That one certainly was, though. Just couldn't get enough on it to pass Derek. Here comes Louisville again, putting the pressure on.
It's a clever foul from Adams, but it will come at a cost. Center backs on the wide side of this back three, given license to get involved in the press. And Adams, if he doesn't put in that tug, it really is going to be harsh numbers against Louisville.
Yeah, he loves to get forward. It's not something you normally see from a 3-4-3, is the center backs getting forward. Adams, certainly the more likely of the three to do that in this Louisville back four. Toshin Ordonez most likely to stay home. It's just wave after wave from Louisville. They're not going to let you ease up. They're not going to ease up against this Memphis side. No goal difference could be a factor.
Yellow card was brought to you by Bone Dry Roofing. Memphis moseying along. Put to rest by Davila. They gain it right back.
Full time at Pittsburgh, 1-1 there. Birmingham with equalize. 4-0 Indy finished off Miami. Took them a while to get going, but really put the foot on the gas in the second half. Colorado Springs still, that's just a 1-0 lead. That's certainly a game Memphis fans are going to keep an eye on.
Don't let Bob Lilly get hot.
And they certainly have here at the right time.
Winder. Can't cut it in, and it's out for a corner. Portion of tonight's match is presented to you by Toyota. Kentuckiana Toyota dealers. Louisville with intentions maybe to leave their opponent in the rear view here. How sweet it would be for Danny Cruz to do it on a corner kick, brought to you by Wi-Fi.
So about the delivery, Danny Cruz will tell you.
You know from previous experience, Davila can hit him. This time, not enough carry. Once more, Serrano. And Adams. Flick towards goal. Derek meets it with a firm paw, but first a foul.
Danny Perez was offside. Well, we had a substitution before we could have this free kick.
Wave after wave. Jansen Wilson in red-hot form comes into the game. Adrian Perez, who's lost maybe a little bit of steam as of late, comes off.
He's run hard tonight, Perez. First half hour is absolutely everywhere.
Again, a player that's trying to work back to full fitness in this late stage of the season. Only been back for about 5 games, making his second start since returning from injury. Coming off a career best season with 10 goals last year for San Diego Loyal. And even though he did not score one today, had a big impact in terms of the maneuverability of this setup for Louisville.
And Jansen Wilson, straight up swap there. He started on Sunday against Detroit.
Back to Lass.
Fresh legs. The last thing Akeem Ward's going to want to see on that side of the field at this point in the game.
You mentioned Jansen Wilson was coming in hot. He's scored 7 goals in 8 games, all competitions. That includes a friendly played here by Louisville. 6 in 7 in the league. Player that's really been a big impact for Danny Cruz. He was a guy that they expected big things from, but maybe not this big this early.
Well, listen, being a rookie pro, it's not easy in the USL Championship. We don't see too many of them succeed at this level, but Jansen Wilson has certainly been doing that. Now a couple more changes, this time for Memphis. Going to get a little more attacking here.
And that's a guy who can change a game really quickly. Panos Armanakis may be the best left foot in the league.
And Knight Pickering, no slouch either. As off comes Carriago with the 2 assists. And Emerson Hyndman. So certainly Stephen Glass going to throw things at it here in the last 25 minutes. See if he can try and salvage something from this game.
Yeah, that's straight defensive midfield play for straight attacking.
See Lapa dropping back now even further. Letting his fresher teammates perhaps get running in front of him.
Armanakis immediately involved. On to Davila. Just been no contest when he's been on the ball. Just can't take it off him.
Yeah, Luis Fernandez got to be careful. He's already got a yellow.
True.
Trapping at the ankles from behind. Not an ideal situation in that when you do have the yellow on your book.
Memphis still have a chance in this game. One bounce of the ball and they're right back in it, but down to 10 men, virtually impossible.
Yeah, no. Got to keep everybody on the pitch here. See that sense of frustration, Carriago, when he went off.
Memphis have been a team that have run hot. We told you already, we'll tell you again. They lead the league in red cards with 8 on the year. Already more than anybody had last season. Here's Diop. Couldn't quite pick the lock. And it's just a rondo right now for Louisville.
As you mentioned, though, one goal will certainly make the rest of this game rather interesting. Other than that breakaway, Memphis really haven't threatened a ton here in this second half.
Davila.
Still seeking their first shot on target since the break.
What a wonderful ball in by Dia. And winning the race is Sissoko.
Those long strides helping out there. Cover a lot of ground in a quick bit of time, Ken Sissoko. Chance here for Fernando to break.
Toronto popped a tire there, and they were able to break out of the press. Austin Paul. Again, it's Louisville backing off. This first and second phase of build-up in this second half. Armanakis, his first touches. Lost one down toward the byline and just running out of road there is Marlon. USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazzo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings.
Yeah, I think when you're up 2 goals and you know you've got a game Wednesday, I think at this point just try and sit back, soak it up. Hit them on the break if you need to, but don't risk any silly injuries, any silly cards. This is the last midweek game of the season for Louisville. Saturdays after that.
Diaz set to hoist in a throw. Serrano. Can't quite get purchase. There for Derek.
Got a couple of late games tonight after this one. Monterey Bay hosting Detroit. Phoenix hosting Las Vegas. That one will be an interesting one. Also watch some of the Jägermeister Cup final. That one's kicking off, or just about kicked off here in the last few minutes.
Who you got in that one?
Oh, man. I think a high-scoring game. I think Madison perhaps just edge it. May go to extra time, I think.
Drop down the line. A little pirouette. It's still Ward somehow. Pickering can't quite find it out and commits the foul.
Lucky not to get a card there. Knight Pickering stopping the promising attack going the other way. Perhaps just deep enough in the Louisville half for him to get away with it.
Louisville 2024 ticket packages are available now. Lou City's next home match is on October 2nd at 7:30 p.m. Bring your family and friends to Lynn Family Stadium when the boys in purple face Miami FC. Tickets are available at loucity.com/tickets. They're not advertising a fireworks show, but I can promise you'll get one if you go to that one.
Listen, you and I talked about the Phoenix Rising record of goals scored, and 19 behind coming into tonight. Thought they might score a few tonight, and certainly Wednesday they could pick up a few. And these last few games may be very interesting for some Rising fans that are proud of that record.
You think this is the best team in league history, this Louisville side?
Oof, that's a tough one.
Put you on the spot.
Because Phoenix have had some quality sides. It's really going to depend. I think we're going to have to wait and see how the postseason ends up. But I think they have the chance to be the best team in championship history. But obviously, we've seen what can happen in the playoffs.
Here's Wilson Harris, laid off, and what a save that is. Tyler Derrick keeps one out. Jansen Wilson has been a man who has found the back of the net pretty easily. Could be trouble here. McFadden couldn't catch the keeper off his line.
You can hear the crowd making the noise because they knew Derrick was a good ways out of his goal. Some tired legs there from Adams, perhaps.
Stretching those long legs to get back in frame. Old Warhorse still has enough in the tank. He's been good in the second half, Tyler Derrick.
Yes, he has. No, he's been stepped up. Mentioned didn't make a save at all in the first half, other than that one late. Well, sorry, no, it was early in the second half he made the save. Sometimes as a keeper, you just need to make that first one and get yourself in a bit of rhythm. Listen, Tyler Derrick's 36-year-old veteran. He's been here, done that.
Serrano, a steadying touch. Stung wide. Dia. Layered into Harris. There's a bite at that ball. It looks like he's won himself a corner. Louisville would love to get one here and make these final 20 minutes a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more semantic. This corner kick brought to you by Wi-Fi. Serrano. Derek, a little bit of a nervous punch.
So Memphis staff men are questioning whether the ball was in the corner kick area. I think he was fine. Remember, it just has to touch the white.
Every inch counts. We talked about the fine margins that Louisville manufacture for themselves. It's an organization that pays attention to every detail as they pay great mind to that ball given away. Jansen Wilson is uprooted by Turchi.
A busy night for Lucas Turchi. Tons of clearances, tons of interceptions. He's perhaps been at fault for a couple of the goals, but you can't question his effort tonight at that centre-back spot. Him and Sissoko have tried their best to contain this Louisville offense. It's not an easy thing to do, as many teams will tell you.
Memphis a rare chance to go forward in this second half. Once more, it's just the pass that goes astray. And it's Serrano leaking out, but couldn't get out of the blocks ahead of Sissoko.
You see Leston Paul actually playing more of a left back, pushing Keem Ward up left midfield, trying to get a little something going offensively, but it hasn't worked yet.
Really has been tough for them to play through the middle of Louisville. Just no success there.
As you mentioned earlier, they're not a team that likes to play wide particularly. They don't really have any true wingers out there.
Long stride, Sissoko. And it's Louisville on the break again. Serrano. Into Dia. Ordonez. Memphis were up 2-0 in this game.
It's funny, we see how quick the first half went, but that seems so long ago. Now, just the way Louisville have taken complete control of this match. Memphis now just looking to hang in there. Move ahead to the next game. That game will be at home against the Oakland Roots next Saturday. A couple of home games against fellow Western Conference opponents, Oakland and Sacramento. For a trip to Memphis and then a trip to New Mexico to close things out. Hopefully, Memphis will have at least secured a playoff spot by then, because you don't want to have to go to New Mexico trying to get 3 points. Oakland, the team certainly beatable of late and struggling. Certainly a chance for Memphis to get back on track in that one.
Whole range of outcomes for them, which include them watching from home in the first round of the playoffs to hosting playoff games all the way up to the conference final.
It's going to be a very stressful run-in for 901 fans. Again, as I said, this is more of a free shot from Memphis. Expect anything out of this game. Would have been a little crazy. Louisville obviously angry after losing last weekend on national TV.
They have proved their point. Mortared wide, Davila and Dia. Serrano. Adams in a tight spot. Drives through midfield. It comes off. Adams seeking a chance to break out. Smoothly wide. And wider still. Serrano. This is lovely build up. Dia. Back post. And got it just ever so slightly high. It's a great move. Dia serves it in. Well placed and just gushed over the target. Changes coming here. It's Perez and Gleedle on. Day done for Wilson Harris. Dia exits as well. Looks like Oscar Jimenez will come on for Memphis. Good time to tell you fans it's time to vote on tonight's Lynn Family Sports Vision and Training Man of the Match. Poll will be open on the app for the next 10 minutes. Vote now on the Lou City app. And Ross, I've got a guy in mind.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Curious about what your opinion is.
No, Taylor Davila, I think, in that center midfield spot, run the show tonight. A couple of quality goals. Been the engine in this Louisville midfield as always, and he would be my choice for man of the match. We'll see if everybody else has a differing opinion, which we're allowed to have, of course.
I'm going to pop that app open right now. I feel very strongly about this. Davila has been fantastic tonight.
Yeah, as advertised, for sure. Let's see some names getting on off the bench here for Louisville, getting some late minutes.
To the wide side. Flashed into the box. A first touch for Oscar Jimenez. Taking no risk. Former Louisville City player. Spent the last 7 seasons with Louisville, made over 200 appearances in his return match to Lynn Family Stadium. Open arms from the home side. Serrano collects.
With that right pinky heavily bandaged.
Luckily, you don't need that to play this game.
You don't. You gotta be careful when you fall. He's making sure the ball is in the semicircle here.
It's a good indicator of when the ball's coming in, as it is served and is punched.
Well, the arc, I should say. That was what I was looking for earlier, is the corner arc. Oh.
Quick foul. And a yellow card for delaying the restart. I believe that was Sam Gleedle. Just a little bit of gamesmanship there from Memphis, knowing that if they just play the ball into the backside of the Louisville player, they will get him cautioned.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting ones. Should you ask for the whistle? Probably not back there, right? You're not going to have a shot on goal for that by any means. Well, keeps getting a little chippy here, shoving the back from Blinder. Referee's going to have to make sure things don't get out of control here in the final 10 minutes.
Armanakis played down the line. Back into Armanakis. Strokes a pass into mid-park. Turchi. And just once more, not on the same page. Disconnected the whole way in the attack from Memphis. Turchi unable to arrive in time. Louisville go hunting. That's Manny Perez. First appearance back with the side after spending time in Denmark professionally. A player that has plenty of experience, though, with Louisville. Primary option at right back last year. Made 33 appearances. And a yellow card. Looks like McFadden has shuffled over to the near side to replace Dia.
Yeah, referee Bensler, like me, can sense this one getting a little testy. Ooh, that was silly there from Jimenez, the former Louisville man.
He is definitely wearing a different colored shirt now.
Obviously, scoreboard ended up being the winning penalty in that playoff game last year. Good penalty it was. Went high into the roof, and there's the guy that missed the penalty. There's a lot of synergy between these two sides here.
Well, what difference a year can make.
Yeah, Danny Cruz said last year's team, so he didn't even think about that match from last year because of the differences this year.
fighting on.
Oh, my word.
That was a harsh tackle. And you were waiting for the card to come out of the pocket.
I suppose we had a couple of yellows on that one. We had a tug of an arm and a lunge from Sissoko. It'd be a shame if this match finished in nasty fashion because it's been such a quality contest.
For Memphis,
still limping a bit.
Important games coming up. You can't afford to be down any of your key players. This is a team that has a first 11 that they like. And as we told you earlier when Sissoko picked up that knock, they can't really lose him, and they are lucky that second leg didn't come in. It would have been a sure red card if that scissoring action had completed.
Yeah, Sissoko, somebody they can't really afford to lose back there. He's been such a linchpin of that center-back pairing.
It's his 9th caution of the year, and Mr. Davila will eye himself a hat trick brought to you on this free kick by Fifth Third.
You wouldn't bet against him.
He's looking for his 3rd goal. Louisville are looking for their 5th. How about that? Tyler Derrick lies in wait. In the crosshairs of Taylor Davila. Davila floats it wide.
It wasn't as far wide as Tyler Derrick made it look. He had a very casual glance at it over there. It wasn't far past his left-hand post.
Well, he looked at one fly into his net earlier in the game. Always a gamble as a goalkeeper to pull off. How would you assess this Memphis performance?
I mean, man, what a first 20 minutes it was from them. But after that, they've been just by far the second best side in this game. This obviously does happen in many Louisville games this season. I think just got to put this one in the past, move on to the next game, get back focused, and trying to get at least that home quarterfinal. We have some yellow card suspension issues, though. I know rolling up to 10 now. Turchi getting up there as well. You gotta watch out for those yellow card suspensions late. Sometimes you just want to take that suspension and not get it even at more critical of a time. Half chance there for Memphis.
Pinball action in the area. That ball was turned out of play. Louisville have prepared a couple changes. See if they're made here. Serrano stings one with plenty of carry to the far touchline. Memphis pressing high. Davila just playing a pass into space. Muscled off the ball there. That's Jansen Wilson. And matters not as balls awarded to Memphis high upstream. Roadside, if they are able to find one, can make this awful interesting into stoppage time. Look at how drilled this defensive shape is, though, for Louisville.
Yeah, dropping 10 men behind the ball now. Just leaving Sam Gleed on his own up top.
The back heel, Pickering is late to it. They drive forward, a rare misplayed pass by Davila. Here are those changes. Who else but Niall McCabe? Also looks like Jake Morris will get a run out. Day done for Aiden McFadden. Also revoked Elijah Winder, who scored the goal to go ahead, technically the winner.
And McFadden with the assist tonight on the second Davila goal. Good 85 minutes put in by him at that wing-back spot. He'll be certainly a key part of this potential title run, as well as will that man Winder.
McCabe coming in, 22 substitution appearances this year, the 3rd most in the USL Championship. This is in his elder years as the elder statesman at the club. Pretty much his job.
No, certainly not a bad guy to have off the bench. A calming presence.
Down the line to Gleedle. And gobbled up by Tyler Derrick.
think for Stephen Glass, get back and look at the tape of this one and just see where things went wrong after those first 20 minutes. Was it adjustment by Louisville? Was it just a bit too much cautious play from his boys?
Tonight's Family Sports Vision and Training Man of the Match, voted by you, is number 17.
Not much to imagine there.
No, deserved selection for this man. Major impact on this game. See, some of his team down 2-0 in the 18th minute, didn't panic. Kept things going in the middle of the park, and 2 superb goals.
Of course, you know about the 2 goals and the passes played, the things done in mid-park. 73 touches though, 59 passes. He's completed 90% of them.
Not too shabby. Oh, careful.
That's what he does though. He runs the game. The goal scoring, the goal danger is just gravy.
He's one of those guys, you watch him play, he makes the pass that you expect him to make. And that's when you know you're watching someone with a bit of class. Okay, that was where I wanted him to pass it to, and he did it. Tino Davila, one of those guys, and isn't the finishing ability, it's just a cherry on top.
Looks like it's Sam Gleadle leading the line. Guy who's played fullback, played in midfield, and now he's playing as a 9 for Danny Cruz. Manakis was tabletop there.
He's a big lad, Morris.
Not the smartest foul. You give Memphis a chance to put it on a free kick into the mix.
This man can put it on a dime, that's for sure.
Talk about that left foot. He's scored 9 goals in his 2 years in the USL Championship. All 9 have been left-footed.
Listen, we talked about how much they work on taking set pieces. Also, when you're taking set pieces, you're also working on your defense as well. So we'll see how Louisville do here. Watch as much tape as they have done.
Armanakis with bend and swerve and nearly bite. Tracked down by Serrano. And hopped out of touch by Armanakis.
Damien Lass came for it bravely, but he had a ton of traffic. Luckily, it was in the shape of his teammates, and they did a good job nodding it away.
Right depth, right height, just nobody there bold enough to go get it for Memphis. Feels emblematic of the night on the whole. Brought into custody by Davila, who can't whittle away from Pickering, or maybe he can. And splits a line with the ball into Serrano, who threads forward ahead of him. Morris fizzed in, and Gleadle arrives a hair too late.
Wants a corner kick, he's not going to get it. Dangerous ball across.
It was a great build. It's the right kind of ball. Gleadle just needed a touch that eluded him.
Interesting, Louisville leading the possession battle tonight. Not something they do very often. Normally quite happy to let you have the ball until you give it up to them in a dangerous spot.
Right from the outset, even though they were down 2-0, it has really felt like a team that wanted to say something with their chest after a game that they didn't feel like represented them against Detroit.
Yeah, funnily enough, they've only won the possession battle 4 times this season with more than 50%. They've lost 2 of those games. Rhode Island was 1, and lost 5-2. They lost to Detroit on Sunday. Obviously, they had 51% in that game.
I think it's going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. Brought to you by the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. They have been swinging heavy gloves all night long, as doing that there is Damien Lass. He's able to jump on top.
To reach over Jimenez to get it. Lost possession, but got back on it. Luckily, there was nobody there for Memphis to clean up.
McCabe. Latching on, a good first touch, almost too good from Jake Morris. And that is something to behold. Serrano already booked once.
That's silly.
Oh, I thought so, that Sissoko had gotten the caution earlier in the game.
Well, that's interesting because you and I discussing whether it was for the first foul or the second one on Sissoko.
Let's have a look under the hood. In that instance in which there was maybe a thought that Sissoko had been booked for a foul at the top of the box, another Memphis player had been booked because an advantage had been played in that sequence, and maybe the yellow never shown to Sissoko after all.
Yeah, Turchi was the one, according to the Opta stats, that got it in the 81st minute. So Sissoko quite happy to take that yellow. I was wondering, he seemed a little happy to get the second one, what we thought was the second one, but what we want to see now here is Serrano down. Been such a bright spark tonight with his quick feet, technical ability.
I wonder if the referee has any intention of allowing this to continue to progress past the allotted time.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that if he could, I think he might blow the whistle early, but this is not a U10 rec game, so we are going to go the distance. Just don't want things to get even sillier. Serrano back on his feet, thankfully.
He's been tremendous tonight. For all the flowers that have been heaped at the feet of Taylor Davila, Serrano has been involved in the sharp point at the front of the attack all night long.
As you see Danny Cruz, even with a 2-goal lead in stoppage time, still barking instructions. He wants a fifth here, unless they're just going to go to the corner. Looks like perhaps they were talking about it, but changed their mind. Let's get to the confusion, it seems.
Set for McCabe. Swerved in, and just stepped away. Davila presents down the line, taking it toward the corner. A look to the watch. Serrano. Jake Morris drops a man. Davila unable to get the beating there. A swap of field. That's a good ball from Armanakis. And cut down with no foul. Tick, tick, tick.
See, adding a bit of time here for the Serrano injury, but this should probably be it. But another impressive victory to add to the list of them this season for Louisville, even down 2-0. Didn't feel a sense of panic, and they knew they just had to play their way back into this game, play their style of football, and things would eventually go their way.
It was 2-0, and then it wasn't. Louisville City bounce off the canvas and take this one 4-2. Everybody's going to be enjoying a nice cold treat after this one. Lou City 1, you do 2. Head to Wendy's, any participating Louisville area Wendy's tomorrow, and get a free small Frosty, and there's no purchase necessary. Bought and paid for by a marvelous performance from the home side.
Yeah, and I think for Memphis, just got to take the positives from those first 20 minutes, take them into these last few games, and hopefully climb up the standings and get as many home games as they can in the postseason.
There's the final score brought to you by Gorski Law. And it was Louisville City laying down the law. 4-2, they prevail over Memphis 901 FC. We'll put a bow on it when we come back. What a day for the home team.
So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the third health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I'm finally feeling control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Room with a view. That's what you get with the powerful new Toyota Tundra.
The electrified iForce Max powertrain can deliver up to 437 horsepower.
And this was easy. Tundra can tow up to 12,000 pounds.
And it's got the best resale value in its class.
Now you can make room for a new 24 Tundra and get 3.99 APR financing for 72 months, $2,000 customer cash, or a low $449 a month lease.
Nobody knows trucks like Toyota. Let's go places.
Statement made, gauntlet thrown, Memphis 901 FC and Louisville City. And it looked like it might be Beale Street Bandits early on as the roadside pounced in front. It was Bruno Lappa burying it on the break. And Ross Davenport, we thought that this one might be something of a contest in these early phases.
Yeah, Memphis by far the better side in the first 20 minutes. It looked like Louisville were perhaps on their way to a rare second straight loss. Carriaga with the 2 assists, Lappa with the 2 goals, 2 very different goals. But then Louisville would turn things on as they have all season.
You said it, 2 different goals. They count all the same. They didn't count for enough. Bruno Lappa was all smiles there, but that's not how the game would finish. Louisville City activated from that point. It starts with this move. A great ball in behind. Wilson Harris tucks it home despite the effort of Luca Turci. Just such a smooth delivery from Taylor Davila. And Wilson Harris was never going to miss from that close in. And this is the move of the match as it was right off the top. This presented by Toyota, the great tackle in the press. And then a finish that would make the jaw drop of even the most hardened spectator, right in off the post. And that is a stiff finish from Taylor Davila, who wasn't done, but will wait to get you that goal. As first, a word from the winner of the match, technically Elijah Winder, who was able to latch onto this loose ball at the top of the box and pretty much just a Sunday league pass at that point. Just picked his corner and filled it. And then later on to start the half and finalize things on the terms of the home side, driving into the box, winding in and whirling it into the top of the net. Nearly took the moorings off. Taylor Davila, that would secure the man of the match status for him. And here are the stats, Ross.
Yeah, they truly tell the story. Just the 2 shots on target for Memphis, and they both went in. Louisville did get back to possession 50-50, 8 corners to 1, yeah. And 3 massive points for Louisville in their quest for records, as well as the top seed in the East, as well as the entire USL Championship.
Every margin coming up purple in this post-game wrap-up, brought to you by Kentucky Highway Safety. Louisville City on their way to the playoffs, but they've not taken their foot off the gas. 4-2, the final score here in this one, this interconference clash. It's the home side who hit heavy. For Ross Davenport and our entire crew here, I've been Peyton Gallagher. Folks, we'll talk to you soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.